that didn't happen.
Driver, step out of the vehicle. Face the away from me. Step back. Step back.
What's up, everyone? I wanted to talk a little bit and I'll show some clips from this case where this family was rushing to save their dog's life, and they got pulled over, held by gunpoint, and just a mess, all because for nothing more than supposedly speeding. And we'll get down to this in a minute. First, I'll take a minute to I'll give a little bit of an update today. Still, I've heard nothing. I don't know if I have this one. There will be a video either before or after this one where it's going to be a bunch of me just talking about stuff going on with my situation, and you know, but it's not real important other than what's update with my stuff. But in there I show clips where I called all these people, and I put them on voicemail, and of course didn't hardly get through to nobody. But I called and left a message for the sheriff himself, because they wouldn't let me, suppose, you know, like always, he's not in. And that was on Thursday. Today is Monday, the 25th. So on Thursday, I called the sheriff, left a voicemail, got no response. Friday, I called the sheriff's department again, asked to speak to the sheriff. They said he wasn't in, so I asked to speak to the next highest in command that's available, and they said that was Chief Deputy Vandermark, the guy I call up at the auto parts store, if you've seen that video. And left him a voicemail and heard nothing back. They are ignoring my calls, and they are refusing to do anything about my property that is stolen. And it's all on video. It's all proven. They're refusing to do anything. These are the types of people we deal with. So, that's, I still don't have my stuff. That's the little bit of the update there. And, you know, I was going to go, I want to try to make a video to explain just how bad this stuff is, because you can think this or that and, oh, that's bad, you know, and that's awful, but you don't understand just how bad it is until you're living in it. But I don't want to right now. I don't want to get behind on doing, even though my videos ain't turning out the greatest as good as I want them to be. I still gotta try to get some different content out there to talk about things. But I want to also give a shout out to at Jake B 7997. Clearly you're watching my video, so I appreciate that. You know, and I think we it seems like we disagree on the whole license to drive issue, and that's fine. This, you know, that's not, I'm not condemning anybody that doesn't want to see it that way. And you know, and I get where it's all coming from. It's like, you know, if I take a look at my situation that's going on here, and do I think anyone in Defiance in my area is gonna, there's people that in some areas that have successfully done this. In my area, I don't know, it'd be a, you know, just the way I can tell the way they're doing what they please here. Your rights don't matter. The law thinks they're above the law, you know. And when I say, you know, law enforcement, they shouldn't be called law enforcement because they're not enforcing the real law. But anyways, I just give a shout out because clearly you're watching my videos and paying attention, and so I really appreciate that. And I appreciate all my subscribers. I don't, you know, but so Jake B, you've been if I'm saying that right, you know, you've been commenting on several of my videos, so I appreciate that. You know, that helps out, and it tells me, and we don't have to agree, you know, on everything, any of us, you know, and that's fine. And I'm not, you know, trying to, I love getting the comments and hearing other people's views, and I appreciate, I'm not, you know, so if I respond with anything, my thing is, or whatever I say in my videos, I'm not trying to be rude. Sometimes I know I have knack for coming off that way, either rude or harsh, and I'm not trying to be offensive to anybody. So just want to give you a shout out and let you know, just in case, however I come off, it's not meant personally or anything like that. If I'm sure you understand what I mean. So anyways, I want to go ahead and get into this case with the family rushing their dog to the hospital or the vet, whatever, and I watched it once a couple hours ago, and now I'm anyways, let's get into it, and I'm gonna show you my point is, this is the kind of people we're dealing with law enforcement and cops and stuff like that. And and there's people argue with me saying, oh, there's good cops out there. I'm not trying to say 100% there ain't no good cops there, but it comes down to you're under oath. So if you're if you stand with the blue line and your blue line buddies do something wrong, something unlawful, something that's just not right morally, stuff like that, if you want to be a good cop on the force, then you need to stand with the people over here that's being offended, that's being violated, and you need to stand for your oath. And I understand that causes a lot of problems for people in law enforcement if they want to stand on the side of good against what their department stands for. And anyways, I'm trying to do this a little bit differently, so I'm viewing it on my phone right now, and I'm recording my screen while I'm viewing it. And so I'm going to try to edit it together the best I can with the way things are going. But this is very important. We need to take a look at this, and we need to understand that this is a general consensus. Okay, I'm not, I realize that, it is judgmental for me to say all cops are bad and all, like, I've met a few around here that their heart seems to be in the right place, but when it comes down to it, whose side are you going to stand on? Are you going to back the blue, or are you going to back the people that it's affecting wrongfully? And my point is that this is the way. I mean, officers just think they're above the law, and they don't need to have any disregard for the citizens, and they think that because they turn on their sirens or because they have a badge, you better do what they say. As soon as they turn on the lights, you better pull over right away, and if they tell you to do something, you damn sure better do it. And it's up to them when they want to decide when to get a gun out, So my point is, on this stop, supposedly his only offense was speeding. There's no other offense, no other reason for this officer to act like this, and he jumps out with a gun out already, ordering the guy out of his truck, pointing guns at the guy's whole family while they're just trying to get their dog taken care of, and it turns out the dog didn't make it, and if you hear these people talk, I wouldn't be so calm if it was me. People need to stand up. They are coming at us with violence, but if we dare even comment back with just words that might be able to be taken as violence, you are in trouble. And that's no way. They're coming at us with violence every day, everywhere in this country. And, so let's take a look at this.
Rushing to try and save their dog's life, stopped and held at gunpoint by the cops. KRQE investigative reporter Gabrielle Burkhart obtained the police videos from a traffic stop that still has a family in disbelief. Did Bernalillo police officers take things too far? Have a look.
It was a neighborhood cat that lured Stella the Labradoodle into traffic in July.
I was like, oh my God, our dog just got hit.
The Albrecht family jumped into action.
We jumped in the car and started trying to get to the ER as fast as we could to try to save her life.
William Albrecht headed down 550 through Bernalillo from their Rio Rancho home toward the nearest 24-hour emergency vet. He spots a Bernalillo police cruiser.
So I imagined if, You know, if he was going to pull me over for speeding, I'd pull over, he'd say something to me, and then maybe even help us get there. You know, I've heard of stories like that before, but that didn't happen.
Driver, step out of the vehicle.
This is what did happen.
Face the away from me.
Lapel video shows Officer Jeremy Navarez put Albrecht at gunpoint, ordering him out of the car.
Step back. Step back.
Realizing what's happening,
My dog's gonna die.
Albrecht's wife starts recording on her cell phone.
Roll the window down, Remy. I'm thinking, this is unbelievable. I can't believe this. Like, why didn't someone just come check with us, find out what the reason our speeding was, and help us?
She and her son watch in disbelief
Step back, go to your left.
as Navarez directs Albrecht into traffic. Backup arrives, but they continue with a felony stop.
Get faster. Get on your knees.
Guns drawn. His wife and 16-year-old son now at gunpoint.
My dog's about to die.
Albrecht is handcuffed.
My dog's about to die.
I saw my son was sticking his hands out the window too, like, dude, our dog's gonna die.
Okay, come to me. My dog's gonna die.
And none of them seemed to even care at the moment at all.
Keep your hands, please. My neighbor hit my dog. That's my son and my wife. Stand up. Please, sir, my dog's about to die.
He's taken to the back of a patrol car.
Sir,
My dog's bleeding out of mouth. Okay.
Albrecht's wife tries to explain.
She's going to die. She got hit by a car. Look at his face, sir. Look, she's bleeding. Look at my dog. My dog is bleeding out of the face. And they're holding us on the side of the road.
The officer who pulled them over.
So let's just stop there for a minute. Of course, I'm doing this off the news. I seen one of the other channels that I'm subscribed to did a thing on this, and I didn't catch that, so I don't know what footage they might have or whatever. If I can find it again, I'll throw that in the link in the description also. But I'll show the link to this news article, news report, in the description as well. And so I want you to consider this a minute. You see how that went down, and whether he's taking the dog to save the dog's life or not, whether that was the issue is, this guy was doing nothing more than supposedly a little bit of speeding, okay? And this is how this officer immediately pulls his gun, orders the guy out of the car, and then directs him out towards traffic. Move to the left, out towards traffic. This officer needs fired immediately and jailed for his actions. But then, you know, so I want you to imagine that for a minute. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I want you to imagine that for a minute, that you're pulling, let's say you're going 5-10 mile an hour over the speed limit, maybe in 15 mile an hour over the speed limit. You get pulled over, and this is how the cop acts. This is how the cop acts. He's too scared to walk up to the door because he knows he's, you know, he didn't even know what this score was. He just jumped out and immediately had his gun out, immediately ordered, like, what was his, he had no reason for that. No reason for that. And then my other problem is, you see the other cops show up, and they all come up with their guns out. What was the reason for the guns out? All of them did, okay? Come out, and then you got these other officers pointing the guns. So, I mean, so we're looking at this, and we're pointing it all only at this one officer, which he deserves it. But what about the rest of the officers? They all come up with their guns out too. The truth is, one of them should have probably tased or shot the other cop in the leg or whatever, shot his own buddy in the leg to fix the situation, right? This guy was violating this guy's rights and putting him and his family in danger. And the other officers backed the blue, though they're automatically, you know, all it would have took is one officer or a car to backfire. All it would have took is, they're on a highway or whatever, it'd take one car to backfire through the exhaust, and it would have been adios for that whole family, you know? And this is how people get treated. This is how the masters are getting treated by the servants, okay? You know, sometimes you would see something like this, and something may have happened that you would understand the officer's concern. There's no officer safety issue here. The officer thinks he has a badge, he's on a power trip. This is totally wrong, and the truth is, the other officers that showed up should have should have put their guns on their own person and ordered him to stand down and then allowed the driver to go beat his ass. That's the truth. That's the truth, okay? You know, if it was the other way around, that's how it would go. They get away with and do whatever they want. It'd be interesting to see what happens. Because there's a lot of publicity on it, he may end up fired. But most likely he'll get moved along somewhere else or get moved to a position where he ain't noticed as much or whatever. But they'll get away with it. The whole police department deserves sued, and those other officers that jumped out with their guns out too when they showed up on the scene, they deserve reprimanded over this as well.
Wrote in his report that Albrecht was speeding and driving recklessly, but he wasn't given a citation, and there's no video of a pursuit. That first officer also never walked up to the family's car to check on the dog or ask why they were speeding.
Officer Navarez's report says he drew his firearm and pointed it towards the immediate threat, writing the driver looked mad with his hands clenched in the air. The officer's video shows otherwise.
Driver, step out of the vehicle!
The second I saw him.
So hold on there. We'll take a look at that. Screw that officer. Oh, the immediate threat. There was no immediate threat. The immediate threat was the officer, right? Does anybody disagree with that? Throw your comments in the thing, and you know, I know there's going to be some people watching this that are going to be like, well, officer safety, you know, they got such a dangerous job out there. No, the most danger out there is from the officers, and that's proven time and time again. This officer, you know, had no business acting like that, but then he says the guy threw his hands in the air with his hands clenched. Who cares? That's not illegal. That's not illegal. Okay, if he wants to have his hands clenched, who cares how, you know, this guy was asking for it anyway, you know.
Guns to my son's head. Like, I really felt like when I got out of the car, like, this dude might shoot me if I make the wrong move.
I can't believe you're doing this, sir.
Christ, man.
Another officer convinced Navarez to let the family go.
Let them get out of here. Record responding units, go ahead and downgrade.
The cuffs come off.
Dude, you're something else.
You're something else, sir.
Yeah, good luck with your dogs.
Their dog Stella didn't make it.
It's horrible. Like, she was such a great dog.
So how did speeding turn into a felony stop? The family had no weapons or warrants.
I can't believe you pulled your gun on my kids, sir.
It's policy.
Oh, yeah, I hear you.
We asked for
See right there, I'm sorry, and you got to be, you're not allowed to, I suppose, say this or whatever, but I don't care. The truth is the truth. If that would have, you know, that guy has more patience than I did, because I don't care who you are. You pull a gun on my family and put the rest of my family and my people in danger, and now when it's calmed down there, he should have just reached out there and popped him. That's really, he should have clenched his fist at that moment. Now that they put him out of the cuffs and all that, and he tells him, you shouldn't have pulled the gun on my face, and the cop blows it off like he should just, you know, that's the damn truth.
Copy of that policy and the use of force policies from Bernalillo Police, but those policies don't explain what happened here.
BPD's policy does call for de-escalation, saying the level of force employed must be commensurate with the threat posed by the subject and the seriousness of the situation. Officer Navarez claims Albrecht didn't immediately pull over, which he disputes.
As soon as I know.
Okay, so even if he didn't even immediately pull over, you know, that's their policy. First of all, that wasn't in the policy. They act like, no, that was excessive use of force. This guy posed no threat, no reason that it should have went down that way. No reason at all. And then secondly, they want to, the department wants to blow it off, say, well, you know, the officer's using policy. That's fine and dandy. Then shut down the whole department, the whole police department, because that policy, if that's the policy, it's a violation of our rights, and policy is not law. Okay, so the only ones that broke the law in this instance is the cops. The cops are the ones that broke the law, because the law is the Constitution. They violated this man's rights, you know, the way they acted, and they want to say, well, that's our department's policy. Well, you can shove that department's policy up your butt, you know what I'm saying? Because it's nothing. It's not law. okay? And so the whole people of this area, from where this guy is from, wherever it's at, all them citizens should be demanding that they all step down and then policies be changed, because they are.
Noticed the lights, I pulled over.
We have something before on the red Escalade, 550 eastbound. Maybe not stopping. Oh, now it's stopping.
For confirming the vehicle stopping.
33 seconds after his first call to dispatch, he says they're stopped.
It took 33 seconds for him to pull over and stop. And this guy's acting like, oh, that's a reason to jump out with my gun out and put this whole family in danger and treat them like this. That's...
No one came at him, no one threatened him. And again, like, what did he see that scared him so bad? I mean, this guy was angry.
The Albrecht saw just how angry watching the officer's recording.
Are you kidding me?
So he's gonna complain.
They also heard Officer Navarez's explanation.
Well, yeah, so I did a felony stop on him because he wasn't stopping when he stopped. Once we found out his dog was injured, and he was trying to get to veterinarian, we tried the idea and let him go if he's being
That guy shouldn't be a cop.
What was going through your head?
Just scared. Just calling my dad names and stuff. It's not right. Shouldn't be a police officer.
We called Bernalillo police to ask if they're investigating the stop. We left messages for the chief, called and emailed, but we never got an answer. We also showed the video to the ACLU.
I do think it was an excessive use of force, an unnecessary use of force, and this is why people are fearful of the police.
Maria Martinez is the legal director for ACLU New Mexico.
Police departments just need to really be serious about consequences when this type of thing happens. So in this specific case, I think these officers should be disciplined.
Gabrielle Burkhart, KRQE Investigates.
So that's that. Oh man, how much did I lose? I'll have to fix it somehow. Anyway, that's that, what we have on that. I wish I could do a better job and get my equipment going, but that's what we got for now. And I just want to point out the cop had no reason to felony stop or whatever. And that's just one of many cases, as I'll be showing here, and as you can find out there on these other channels. And like I say, I'll see if I can find the one I seen a few days back of one of the channels I'm subscribed to, and if I can, I don't remember exactly who it was that did it, and I'll leave that link too, so you can get their perspective too if you're interested. But let me know what you think about that. These cops, our police force all across this nation are out of hand, and they're rogue, and we need to reel them in. That's this here, that's this guy's case. Now, you come over here in Defiance County where I'm at, and there's people that just can't seem to understand what I'm saying about the sheriff's department came and robbed me, armed robbery, come and forced me away took me away from all of my stuff that they have no right to, and refused to give it back, and they did it with force. And how are you holding them accountable? How can we hold them accountable? Because so this guy was against the police force, and I was against the sheriff, and this ain't the only place this is happening. Sheriffs are losing their respect quickly, and they used to be more respected than the rest of the cops. And the thing is, because he's an elected official, they're trying to act like there's nothing I can do. And as I said, you see either in the video before this or the one after it, I'll post it if you're interested, but it'll show where I try to contact several people and do something about it. But anyways, that's all I want to share with you for now about that ridiculous case. And go ahead and share your thoughts in the comments and whatever you think about it. And otherwise, I appreciate you watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I appreciate it very much. See ya.